Notice requirements of the Open Public Meeting Law have been satisfied concerning this meeting. The Home News Tribune and the Star Ledger published a notice on December 16, 2016. A copy of the schedule is posted on the municipal bulletin board and should be so noted in the minutes of the meeting. Councilman Anderson. Councilman Anderson. Councilman Ficarra.
Here.
Councilwoman Drum.
Here.
Councilwoman De Jesus.
Here.
Councilman Spiller.
Here.
Councilman Small.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Vice President Meehan.
Here.
And President Delina.
Here.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from October 10th, 2017?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Beginning with second reading ordinances tonight, we will take several by consent. We'll start with letter A, which is Chapter 7, with regards to changing some terminology in ordinances to include Chief of Police, Deputy Police Chief, Police Director, and Deputy Police Director. Letter B, an amendment for truck routes, prohibiting trucks over 4 tons on Avenel Street and Chin Hills Road. Letter C is also at Chapter 7, loading zones, for an amendment for Fulton Street here in Woodbridge. Letter D, handicap parking on certain streets that are listed. Letter E, control for the movement and parking of traffic for Eleanor Place. Also to include more terminology on the police director and deputy police director. Letter F, an amendment for handicap parking just as well. So if we can, letters A, B, C, D, E, and F, can I get a motion that these ordinances be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letters A, B, C, D, E, and F. Hearing no comment from the public, can I get a motion that the public portion is here and be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Letter G is an ordinance amending the application for a long-term tax exemption, authorizing the execution of a financial agreement with PCP Herd Square Urban Renewal. Can I get a motion that this ordinance be taken up on second and third reading and the public hearing be open?
Motion.
Second.
Any comments or questions from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. The public hearing is now open on letter G only.
John Gonzalez, Woodbridge. That's exactly what property you're talking about.
It's the Griffith site.
Griffith's right over here. Griffith's property. They're like accommodated? No, it's not.
No.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the public on letter G? Any other comments from the public? Can I get a motion that the public hearing be closed, the ordinance be adopted and submitted to the mayor for approval as required by law?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. First reading ordinances, letters H through V. By consent, can I get a motion that these ordinances be passed on first reading, published in the Home News Tribune on October 27, 2017, with notice of public hearing to be held on November 13, 2017 at 7 p.m.
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Council President?
Yes,
Council President, I'd like to abstain on ordinance H, please.
Any other comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Under resolutions, also by consent, 1 through 20. Can I get a motion to approve 1 through 20 by consent?
Motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments from council?
Council President,
Councilman?
I'd like to abstain on resolution number 11.
Okay.
Thank
Any
you.
other comments from council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Before we go to the public portion of the meeting, I would like to recognize we have our Cub Scouts here this evening from Ford's and from Edison. They're doing their Arrow of Light project, and they've come to the council and the mayor to ask a lot of questions, and a lot of good questions. And matter of fact, one good question was they want to know what the requirements were to run for mayor or for councilman. So already they're starting their campaign. So our futures are over there. Stand up so we could give you a clap. Thank you for coming, guys. Okay, at this time, we will now go to the public session. Tonight's meeting, I would ask that any resident to speak into the microphone. Please provide your name, the section of the township in which you reside. Public session allows for 5 minutes. The 5-minute time frame includes remarks by the speaker and any response or interaction by the council or administration. While this is a strict 5-minute time frame, the speaker will be allowed to complete a sentence if time runs out during a mid-sentence. Otherwise, there will be no extensions or allotment for any additional time. Public hearing is now open.
Robert Lindsay, 434 Off Pine Street, make Perth Amboy great again. It's all about you, Judge Boyd. It's all about you, and it's all about you, Malcolmo, the cop, and his uncle. Help, help, help. I need lots of help. And let's go Mets. Let's go Mets. Okay, I like that. Okay, well, the Mets look pretty good for next year. You got a new manager. I got to give my thoughts again, what I forgot to say. Up here, I know what I'm going to say, but in my mouth I can't say it. How you like that? It's a point blank. I can't believe it. Okay, I got a haircut at Mr. John's. I go see Eddie Monday and Tuesday. How you like the circuit for $15? Eddie, go see Eddie Monday and Tuesday. He's a nice guy. Oh, brother, how you like that? Well, point blank, I can't think of what to say now. I don't watch NFL football. Please don't watch them guys. They're making too much money. And they won't even stand up for the... Oh, yeah, okay, here it comes back. I'm going to talk about Fernando Israel. I think he's a school teacher in Woodbridge. We have a nice mural at the council meetings. He wants to knock it down. He said, yes, I've been for years trying to get rid of it. It's got Americana, the soldiers, the colony, everything about America. He wants to knock it down. Fernando Israel, I can't believe it. He comes to the council meeting, how nice he is. He says a prayer, but he doesn't want I see a Marine there. I see my brother Julius. He was a Marine. He was in Korea. He fought for South Korea against the North Koreans. Where this guy at the farmer's market, he threw me out of his store. He told me, don't come back here no more. Because I brought back some kind of roast beef or something. Then there's my other brother. He was in the Air Force. He went to Japan after the war. He done, what'd he do? Secret Service. I can't think of it. How you like that? I think of him. And there's another soldier. I think of the mayor's son. He was in Iraq fighting. I think of them things, and this guy, Fernando Israel, he wants to, for years he's saying he wants to get rid of it. Doesn't look good. Who the heck is it? Who does he think he is? It doesn't look good. It's America. Oh, he sticks up when a couple of Spanish guys couldn't come talk English like bad as me. He got up and helped the guy. Him and Fernando Gonzalez. They ran to him to help him. I went to Perth Amboy police station. I can't spell too good. I wanted to sign a complaint against one of the cops. He gives me a ticket, and one of the city employees parked in the same spot. He don't give him a ticket. So I said, help me out spelling it. No, I can't do that. He can't do that. He never could do that. I can't spell. So that's my problem. Perth Amboy, you're killing me in Perth Amboy. Instead of being Jersey strong, I'm weak strong. Debbie Reynolds, I'm getting closer to seeing you. Debbie Reynolds, I'm getting closer. I'm depressed. I'm whatever you call it. And I want to thank the Woodbridge Center, the ShopRite, and Sam Sones for having thank God we had a very good summer with the shows. I thank you very much. And one time I was thinking of buying a Chevy. I called the mayor's office. Do they have a Chevy dealer? They never got back to me. They never got back to me. I was interested in buying one. That was a few years ago, but now I can't afford to buy a new car. I got a 2000 Buick. It's hanging in there. One day I come out of it, I see a sign, we take junks. They take junk, we might as well take me too. So, yeah, First Avenue is getting rougher and rougher. For me anyhow, they don't seem to, they park in my mother's driveway. I call the cops, they don't come, they don't answer the phone, they hang up on me, everything. Oh yeah, the mayor made a good point about, talking to the scouts about dictatorship. That's what the Democratic Party is, trying to be a dictatorship. And the Yankees, they're very bad losers. They can't lose. All you do, I don't even watch the Sunday program news. That's the best time of the day to watch Sunday. I haven't watched it in months. They're always chopping President Trump all the time. Now they give the golden mothers, I don't know what you call them, golden mothers, the family got killed. All kinds of different stories about President Trump. He didn't do this, he didn't do that. Well, in a way, I don't like him. He wants to start a war, and he got deferred. He didn't go to the service. And then Mr. Gore, too, he got deferred, too. So that's the only thing I don't like about Trump. He went, oh, we're prepared, we're doing boom, 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 everything. But the guy never saw action or nothing. Not like my brother was in Korea. And the mayor's son was in Iraq. Okay, I guess that's time. So can I have an extra minute?
No, time's up. Sorry, Mr. Ness.
Okay, help. And let's go Mets.
Any other comments from the public?
Yep, that's more comments over here. Good evening, Council President Gerard Chewbacca, Hope Lawn. Okay, a few things here. Is that Riffy's project, is that going to be a pilot tax break, or do we know anything like that? That was at PCP?
Yes.
Yes. 40 years? How much? We don't know.
The usual 30.
30 or 40 years?
30.
30 years, okay. That's good for the summer taxpayers anyway. Okay, a few things here. That carjacking over by Hobby Lobby over there, it happened, I think, in mid-September, and it was just reported like 4 or 5 days later. I mean, why the time lag on there? It happened on a Saturday, and it was done at gunpoint, and I mean, shouldn't that have been done, reported in the paper or by the township, for the people being alerted to the carjacking and with a gun? And have there been any subsequent carjacking since then?
I'm not aware of any recent carjacking besides that one. No.
All right, yeah, try to get it within the next, month or anything like that, if there's any type of carjacking, because there might be a kid in the back of the car, and we don't want that to happen like that. So that's no good on that. Two, opioid abuse or anything like that. No more numbers or anything like that? No? Nobody wants to report on it? The mayor will know.
All we know is we're doing the best we can in the township of Woodbridge.
Well, I heard it's up to like 26, 28 people already, and you're going to be...
Well, I don't know where you're getting your numbers from, but...
I'm trying to get it from the mayor, but the mayor won't tell me. He knows, and, he's going to know.
Yes.
I just want to add, the mayor did an excellent update on the opioid epidemic on TV 35.
Yep.
And he did it along with our director, police department, Director Hubner. And so it was very informative, and it illustrates what we're trying to do and work with the schools, and what we're trying to do and work with the community and keeping them informed what to look out for in the community, so you should watch it.
Okay, what's the body count, though? I mean, you're spending all this money and stuff like that, and are these residents in the township? Are they people that pass through the township, buy the drugs, and then drop dead? I mean, so what's going on?
What's going on is what just Councilman Anderson said. The mayor's been working publicly with the police department on it, and the police department is aggressively out there with the Councilman.
Council President, there was also an open house at the health department this past Saturday, and the people that work with the opioid situation were there giving out information. It was pretty public, so...
Yeah, I was there. I was at the first one back in May.
Okay, this one was this past Saturday, and that whole department was there, including the coaches, so
All right,
it was valuable information out there.
Let's watch.
But there were no TV cameras there.
No, whatever. Okay, Orange, New Jersey had a police officer assaulting 2 people at the school, 2 young students and stuff like that. I'm still asking you people to put the body cameras on the police department on the police officers that go into the schools over there. It's a safe insurance. You're jeopardizing the kids and stuff like that by not having those body cameras on those police officers to document what happened, okay? You got to do it. You have to look into it. Did we buy anything, did we do anything with the cell phone, with the satellite cells? Anything? Or we just glossed that over?
No.
No? All right. Find some of that pilot money, like I said. Get it over there. Let's see now. Galena Manor, who the hell knows what's going on over there? And probably get the noise complaints from that. And the bike patrol, motorcycle patrol, up and running yet or no?
No, it's not.
Well, you might have to do it next spring because I don't know how it's going to work in the winter on there. And let's see what else over here. Oh, yeah. Say it ain't so. Council President Galena, you're not running for office again for town council president?
That's correct.
No! Oh!
Okay, Jared.
How many? You're managing. Oh! How many years? How many years, council president? How many years?
Enough.
Huh?
Enough.
You're the senior council member here, huh? Okay, well, are you going to get a watch or a plate or something, you know, for your years of service, or are they going to cheap out? I don't know. At least I'd ask for a Rolex, man, you know. That's a pretty good deal on there.
Okay.
And lastly, happy Halloween to everybody coming up. You had that spooktacular up there at the community center. That was pretty good. Oh, yeah. Where's the cameras over here for the Cypress Recreation? Why are you buying more cameras for here? Over here, number 12?
We put cameras in all the recreation facilities.
You're up to well over $500,000 with cameras and stuff like that. And you guys are crying the blues, you don't have the money for police body cams? I mean, come on, you know? All right, take care.
Next.
Good evening, members of the council. My name is John Mixito. I live at 844 Wood Avenue, Colonia. I purchased the property back in 2001 and lived there ever since, built a house. In that time frame, till present, I've noticed the demographics of the town change, you know, mostly for the better. But there's been a couple of issues that need to be addressed that have been biting my tongue. It's been going on for several years, and I had to come down and say my piece, and hopefully something gets done. The speeding in several streets in Colonia, in my section, have gotten out of hand. It's Inman Avenue, Wood Avenue, and Dover, right close to where the mayor lives. People just don't have any respect. It's a stretch from New Dover to Inman Avenue. It's 0.8 miles. And that stretch, people get up to over 60 miles an hour on a daily basis. Living on Wood Avenue is like living on the Parkway. Trying to you actually have to merge, basically. You can't even check your mailbox. As of this September, just on Wood Avenue, there's been over 56 accidents, motor vehicle accidents, and there's been one fatality. Something needs to be done. People just don't care. There's posted speed limits, yes, 35 miles an hour, but nobody adheres to it. I've researched, I've done the legwork. Most townships, I believe Clark has it, Elizabeth has it, the stainless steel posts with the solar panels, and it tells you how fast you're going. It's basically a radar.
Yeah, we do have that.
Yeah, we have the trailers. I know we have the trailers.
Right.
When Sergeant Nelson was in charge of that, I spoke to him. He was great. I don't know if he's still on the job or
No,
not.
he's actually retired.
He's retired. Okay, good for him. Those trailers are over $7,000. These posts are retail at $3,000.
Oh, they're permanent?
Oh yeah, it's like a light post.
Okay.
It's stainless steel light post. Quaker Lane, right to the right of my house, 3 houses down, there's a bus stop. It's an intersection. There's no crosswalk. Buses stop there, school buses stop there, and city buses stop there. Cars constantly overtake each other. That's the issue. There's going to be another fatality. Something has to be done. I'm glad this is being videotaped because somebody has to put the boots on the ground. I know the budget comes out probably in January, February for the township. We have to put some money aside. I even thought about paying myself for these things. but it's not, I pay enough taxes. Something has to be done.
Well, I have to say the police department is very proactive in, trying to set up radar. Obviously, Woodbridge is a huge town, over 26 square miles. And they do go from town to town, different sections, roads, and do set up, cars, patrol cars for radar.
But that's like dead time. I understand. You need those cop cars and
After a while, people see those signs, they know they're there, they ignore them also. I mean, I'm not saying, I think it's a good idea to have them, but after a while, people know, I go figure nothing's going to happen, unfortunately. So that's why a lot of times they set up the radar, especially if we get requests, from residents ourselves, like on a certain road that I know, someone might tell me, or I know myself, I call the police department and ask them to please set up radar when they can. They'll do, for several days, and then, or with the trailer, the radar trailer.
That's basically a Band-Aid. But the trailer does help, because some people are just daydreaming. They look at, oh wow, I'm doing 50 miles an hour. But if there's something there advising them, oh, I just went over, they do curb their speed. But at this point, it's out of control. And they're overtaking each other. That's the biggest issue. When we pull out of our driveway, we got to look both ways. And about roughly 10 times this year, from January until present, there's a car on my side of the road coming right at me. Because the guy that's doing 35 miles an hour, he's doing the legal limit, but the next person, oh, I got to catch the train. I'll do 60, I don't care. And when you get down past Oak Tree Road, when you come around the bend, those two gas stations, people just ride on the opposite side of the road. Constantly. It's something, like I said, something needs to be done. I understand down by Nudo Road, by Metro Park, it's congested, but in front of my house, I have pictures of here. Last month, guys drag racing, one lost control, went into my neighbor's tree, which is directly at his doorstep. What did they do? They backed out and just kept on going. The tracks were there, damage on the trees there.
Okay.
A month before that, a tractor trailer had to jam on the brakes because of an oncoming vehicle on my side of the road. Another one that was overtaking. I measured the skid marks. I have all the pictures right here. 71 feet long were the skid marks.
Okay.
And it was coming towards my house.
If you can you go see Director Hubner over there and just show him what you have, this way he can so note it?
Yes.
Okay.
And council, there's something that can be done, please. I don't want to say, listen, I pay enough taxes, but listen, I do. If you check my residence, I do pay enough taxes. I might as well live in the estate section, because that's where my taxes are.
Okay, thank you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Councilman Carey, did you want to say something?
No, I just, exactly what you said. Vice President, I think maybe you want to sit in on that meeting or orchestrate that meeting with a representative from the police department and this gentleman to take a look at that. Sir, that's your chief responsible for your area, yes.
I actually wrote 2 letters 2 years ago, certified to the mayor, but I know the mayor's busy and speeding on Wood Avenue isn't one of top priority. But when somebody dies, it is a priority now.
Councilwoman Meehan.
Please leave your name and your number. I have your name, but just leave your number and
Yes, just Director Hubner before you leave.
Sure. Thank you.
Because it's not just there, it's a constant problem all the time.
In Manhattan, in front of the school.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Ann Kozar, C1 property owner. Before the October 10th council meeting started, Mayor McCormick asked me whether I came to observe or if I had an issue he could help me with. When I said my issue was a free zoning board appeal venue, he said, quote, "It's never going to happen." I asked why, and he said, quote, "We can't have politics come into it." I asked what politics had to do with it and said I considered it a matter of right and wrong. He repeated again, "We can't have politics come into it." Politics shouldn't come into any administrative decision. Unfortunately, it often does. The residential property next to me is commercially used. Use variances are supposed to be sparingly granted. However, our zoning board passed 3 of them on this one residential property. The first 2 use variances were granted to the same well-known business in town. Although testimony clearly showed why they should be denied, Our zoning board passed them. The Superior Court overturned them both on appeal. The cost was well over $20,000. In March of this year, a personal friend of a Woodbridge planner engineer applied for the third use variance. The planner engineer basically gave the same reasons to grant the third use variance that he cited for the prior two, which the Superior Court overturned. My attorney gave multiple land use statutes and specifically pointed out that the overnight vehicle parking the applicant was seeking had never been allowed on this property in over 60 years. Despite knowing the property's history and the two Superior Court reversals, our zoning board unanimously passed the third use variance. My attorney was confident of a third Superior Court reversal. However, I decided to address the council to try to get a free local zoning board appeal venue, like residents used to have. This would eliminate the financial burden of Superior Court, which Mr. Dolina, to his credit, has acknowledged is unfair. There's only two reasons for a wrong zoning board decision: insufficient land use knowledge or a political agenda, neither of which serve Woodbridge residents. Voters are tired of go along to get along politics. They want decisions based upon our laws and devoid of politics. The council has the authority to amend the Superior Court option. However, if they even found the courage to do it, the mayor told me, quote, "It's never going to happen." Knowing a practice is unfair and doing nothing about it is a disservice to every Woodbridge resident. When a zoning board has many incorrect decisions, something's wrong. Our zoning board's wrong decisions aren't limited to the three use variances they granted on the residential property next to me. Unfortunately, we have many residents who are forced to live with their wrong decisions because they can't afford Superior Court. Even if you don't believe me, you can believe the 2002 and 2005 Superior Court rulings that overturned two of our local zoning board's wrong decisions. Mr. Dolina said the council has trust in both its boards. I doubt this trust extends to passing an amendment to reimburse legal fees for residents who prevail in Superior Court. Woodbridge residents deserve better from our local zoning board. If the mayor's statement, "We can't have politics come into it," means he doesn't want politics to play a role in zoning board decisions, that horse has already left the barn. Thank you.
Woodbridge. 2 weeks ago, I was here and asked a question about a parking lot repair in Venus across the street, and the mayor said it's done because if it's necessary, people there's no parking on municipal property, town hall, they can park across the street. Is there any signpost that additional parking across the street over there?
No, there's not.
Are you going to or no?
That's not a bad idea. We'll look into it.
But how people will know that they can park across the street and they're parking?
They don't have to know they park there.
But they
don't need a sign.
Okay, thank you. So it's not because of the parking, it's because of the neighborhoods, right? What really started to bother me, a couple years ago I was here, and there was a lady from Evernell pleaded because she had a son in Iraq, and he left his car on the driveway, covered because he couldn't afford insurance. He covered it, left the driveway was serving in Iraq. And she came over here that she was told by the township inspector, or police, who it was, to move the junk over the property, put in the garage or do it out. So what she did was, she said, I have no room in my garage. Most of you probably remember that. And they opened the garage, she says, move the junk out and put the car in. The junk wasn't the junk, it was a kid's bicycles, young girls, things like that. But what I tried to realize that Woodbridge right now, Woodbridge property special that see it. We do have an ordinance that you cannot park the cars if they're not registered, if they're covered. We supposed to that they have a cars that are out of state license plates for a couple of years and couple of years so. And it's happening. If you look to the town, I know we got 198 police officers. Well, don't they know the law? How come they're enforced the laws now? They're in the books for years. Look all over town. Additional commercial trucks are parked day and night on the street, local residential streets.
I'm sure if they observe it, they will do what they have to do. Otherwise, a lot of those complaints would have to come from someone like yourself, where then the police department would go out and check it.
Well, listen, that's their job. Don't you think so?
I'm sorry?
That's their job. They know the law. If they see the law.
I'm sure they know the law, and I'm sure if they see something, they will do something about it.
But I'm sure they got pretty good vision because they do.
I'm sure they do also.
So they just bypass it until somebody makes a big
I'm sure they don't bypass it if it's something that doesn't stick out.
It doesn't stick out. Thank you, Mr.
And also, just to let you know, the property and housing is the property maintenance is the property and housing department also.
Council President, I'm sorry, just one comment. I know that I personally, I'm sure every council person up here has been contacted at one point in our career, multiple in my case, about property maintenance, and when I call on it, it's acted on immediately, and I'm able to respond back. So if you have anything that you want to point out,
Mr. Vitale, sit down, please.
Thank you.
anything that any resident wants to point out, they can certainly contact directly to the mayor's office or any of us, and we'll give them.
And if you do have addresses, please give them over to the administration before you leave, okay? Mr. Vitale, if you have addresses.
I can walk any half a block away.
Well, if you have them, please turn them in, because we got to rely on residents to turn them in.
Why? Either everybody should do it, nobody should do it, period. They know what has to be done, they should do the job. They don't want to, you know.
Okay, thank you. Sir?
I'm Frank Trumbator, Ward 1. I'm asking a very sensitive question, but I have very good reason for it. Do we have any knowledge of how many illegal aliens live in the township and the cost per capita to each of the citizens?
No, we have no idea.
How about in the school system?
No idea.
This is quite distressing to many of us seniors. We're getting older, our medications are costing more, and our taxes are going up. We think we deserve some idea of what people who aren't supposed to be here are costing us. It's coming time when we have to make a decision whether we're going to buy food or the medicine that keeps us alive. And if property taxes continue to rise, if people that aren't supposed to be in our school systems are there, we have to build new schools. Our property taxes will go up. This isn't racial, this is financial. And I cannot believe that this entire council does not have a figure on how much it's costing our citizens. Very distressing, gentlemen and ladies. Very distressing.
Are there any other comments from the public? There are no other comments. Can I get a motion to close the public portion of the meeting? Any questions? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, we will now go to the agenda part of the meeting. I just have two things. Number one is that one of the Woodbridge Township projects going on is the Hickory Senior Center, which was the old St. John's First Aid Squad. The design of the planned renovations for the former St. John's First Aid Squad is underway. The objective is to convert the existing building by renovating and remodeling the building with the addition of additional floor space for a new senior center in Fords. It is expected the groundbreaking for this exciting new facility to take place sometime in the late spring of next year. And one more thing, as was noted before, Halloween is coming. It's this Monday. And the Fords business community is having a trick-or-treat with the Fords business community. Take the Scarecrow Challenge. A lot of the business are participating by putting scarecrows up, and they will be voted on for the best scarecrow on New Brunswick Avenue in Fords. For a fun and safe evening of trick-or-treat, look for the scarecrows up and down New Brunswick Avenue at our participating Fords businesses on Tuesday, on Tuesday, October 31st, from 3:30 to 6:30, rain or shine. So if you have time, please bring the kids down to New Brunswick Avenue, check out the scarecrows that the businesses are putting up, that they are participating in, and also for some free candy and trick-or-treating on New Brunswick Avenue. Hopefully it's a nice day for the kids. And that's all I have. Council Vice President.
Thank you. My agenda is in order. I just want to thank everybody that came out. A couple weeks ago, we did a breast cancer walk down Inman Avenue. It was the first one we did, and it was a real success. We had about 160 people that came down wearing their pink and just bringing awareness to breast cancer. Afterwards, we did a spaghetti dinner, and we served about 350 dinners, and all the money went to a local resident in Colonia that's battling breast cancer. So it was a good event, and we are going to do this every year to bring awareness in October to breast cancer. And then just one other item, I have a turkey trot coming up, and you stole my line about the scarecrow, Councilman Delina. But it's on November 11th, and it's from 1 to 3:30. We leave from Inman Avenue, School 21, and what it is we do a walk down Inman Avenue. We don't shut the avenue. We go down these sidewalks, and we're asking people to bring a can of food. All the food that we collect will go to the food pantries for Thanksgiving for families in Woodbridge Township that we have to remember the holidays coming up. There are a lot of hungry people out there, and we should remember them. So we invite you to come walk with us. It's from 1 to 3:30. After the walk, we will have a fall festival where the kids can go on a hayride and paint pumpkins, and it's a great day. So that's all I have.
Thank you. Before I go to Councilwoman Drum, just one more thing I forgot to mention. The Veterans Day Parade is on Sunday, November 12th, starting 1:30 sharp p.m. It will be assembling and starting from the Ross Street School number 11, right located off School Street in Woodbridge, and proceed along the parade route, which ends at the Woodbridge Municipality Building. I encourage, please, all our residents to come out and support our veterans for this great parade. Councilwoman Drum.
Thank you, Council President. Number 4, the Downtown Merchants Association. I spoke to them today to see if they had any news to share, and they are very excited for the Small Business Saturday, which is supported by American Express, and together with the Recreation Department on Saturday, November 25th. There are several things going on. First will be a run, walk, or stroll for arthritis. That's at Seawarm Park from 10 a.m. to noon. The second thing on that day is the holiday play at the Woodbridge Middle School Theater, which begins at 2:30. And then lastly, Recreation Department worked with the downtown merchants and decided to do their holiday stroll under the lights, and it seemed to be much better and much more of a success. So that'll follow the play, and that will be from 4 to 6:30 on Main Street. We have the horse and carriage, we have vendors. It's a really nice night, so I just wanted to announce that. So hopefully everyone will come and join us. So that is that on Downtown Merchants. And then the Buy Local program, number 15. The Buy Local Committee, Councilwoman Meehan and I will be having a meeting along with Township, and that will be on November 1st, Wednesday at the Family Success Center on New Brunswick Avenue in Fords, and that will begin at 5 p.m. So we hope that everyone can join us for that. If you're interested, you can contact Jeff Mayerowitz here at Town Hall at 732-634-4500, extension 6056. And also for the businesses in our town, Casey Wagner works with them for getting business deals on the Buy Local app. You can contact Casey at 732-634-4500, and his extension is 6497. Number 16, the PACE program, which is a program for the advancement of children's education, is having a bazaar vendor night. They do this annually to raise some funds for their organization. That will take place at Woodbridge Middle School on November 18th from 10 to 2, so they appreciate your support for that event. Number 17, the Chamber of Commerce had a successful Chairman's Awards dinner this past Wednesday at the Renaissance, and they had about 9 recipients locally that received awards for the good work that they do in our community. And we're looking forward to our annual holiday luncheon, which is on December 4th this year. If you're interested, please contact the Chamber at 636-4040. And number 19, the Woodbridge Elks Lodge 2116. They're always doing breakfasts for the good of the community for different organizations throughout our community. They had one for Woodbridge Fire last Sunday, which was successful, and this next one will be on November 12th, and that'll be for the Woodbridge Buddy Ball. And I just wanted to make 2 announcements on behalf of the Woodbridge Fire Department. There was an open house that was done on October 10th, and I just wanted to shout out and thank them for the educating our community on fire safety. They did a lot of drills, and they also made it fun for the kids. And the Ghost Walk, which was a huge success this past Saturday night, I wanted to thank all the ghosts. They all were great characters. It was 2 tours, one through Parker Press and Woodbridge Park, Tansman Park area, and then one down Main Street. And I especially want to thank Jane McLaughlin. This is her 9th year leading the Ghost Walk, and for all of the people that participated and all the support that came out for the event. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you. Councilman Anderson.
Thank you, Council President. I was not in attendance at the last meeting, but I do want to bring light to the Hall of Fame, which was held, the Hall of Fame ceremony at the Woodbridge Community Center. It was very well attended. We were able to honor our past great athletes out of the 3 township high schools. I would like to thank our rec department, Vito Simluka and Brian Molnar, for helping us put that together. And it was an excellent job by Nick Sardone, who is the president of the Hall of Fame committee, in not only having a great ceremony, but the arduous task of going through and encouraging people to fill out applications and to also lead the board in deciding who is worthy of the honorees. So I would like to thank Nick Sardone and his board for that. The trunk or treat was a success with many, many kids coming out at the community center. And as we have Halloween coming up, we also have a Halloween hayride on October 26th, right across the street here at Parker Press Park, from 6:30 to 8:30, and that is a free event, so we encourage all the kids who would like to participate in that to come out. And last week we had the Taste of Woodbridge at the community center, and it was extremely very well attended again by our residents and many of our food companies and restaurant companies and vendors that are a part of Woodbridge Township's great restaurant culture. Were in attendance there and had many samples of their food. If you haven't been, I encourage you to go and attend. It's a great event. It's a great event just for the residents, and it's also a great event for the business owners. The Independent Club of Colonia will be having a Halloween party this Saturday on October 28th at 7 p.m., and that'll be at the Colonia Firehouse. You're encouraged to wear a costume. It's for adults. It's a great night out, and come on out and have a great time. And lastly, I would like to congratulate and wish all of our cheerleaders in Woodbridge Township good luck as they enter their competition season. They'll be traveling on to the Sovereign Bank Arena in Trenton, and with their hope to make it down to Disney World for the national cheer competition. So there's the Golden Saints, there are the Woodbridge Broncos, and the Ford's Bearcats in the township. So I'd like to wish all of those programs a lot of luck in their cheer competitions. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Council President. Just a quick item on the Woodbridge Community Center. Just a few reminders. There's nothing like actually being there and seeing it yourself, but the Community Center offers a lot of birthday packages. I know parents have approached me about various ideas, but roller skating, ice skating themes, gym parties, pool parties, all available at our Woodbridge Community Center. As far as the member benefits, and again, if you see it, it's easier to see it yourself, but we have an exercise track there, exercise classes, 25-yard swimming pool, discounts on lessons for skating, and finally, try ice hockey for free is a really interesting program. November 4th from 3:30 to 4:30 for children ages 4 to 9, and there's no equipment necessary, and must register that through USA Hockey. Everything in our community center can be found on its website, njwcc.com, which stands for New Jersey Woodbridge Community Center.com, and they have a phone number of 732-596-4170. But there's no replacement for going yourself, taking a tour, and seeing it. It's a great place to recreate and be healthy. Thank you, Council President.
Before I go to Councilman De Jesus, Councilman Anderson.
Yeah, I apologize. I normally like to announce any companies that are advertising on our Employment Opportunity Center, and we do have a recent addition. It's a great company coming into town, and if you're looking for a job, it's a great place to work, Dave & Buster's, which will be in Woodbridge Mall. You can go to www.daveandbusters.com/careers. So if you're looking for some work at a fun place, check out Dave & Buster's.
Excuse me, just a little interruption, I apologize. They are opening officially on November 13th. Yeah.
Thank you.
They're our newest chamber members.
Councilwoman De Jesus.
Anyone else? Thank you, Council President. Item number 6 on police community relations. In the next couple of weeks, Detective Schlossberg and Zeno will be at various schools in our district giving bullying presentations. On Friday, they will be at Avenel Middle School for their program with at-risk youth. On Halloween Day, they will be at Woodbridge High School and Colonia High School for their police interaction class. And later that day, they will be at a trunk or treat event at the Woodbridge Commons condominiums. On November 2nd, they will be at the Forts Firehouse at 6 p.m. for a neighborhood watch meeting, which is open to the public. On November 4th, they will be at Barbells for Boobs event for breast cancer at Black Hearts CrossFit. Moving down to item number 11, the library will host a seminar on the topic of wills and estates administration, protecting your family and making planning easy on Monday, November 20th at 7 p.m. at the Woodbridge Main Library Meeting Room. The guest speaker is Kenneth Berkenman, managing attorney from Berkenman and Associates. And the Children's Department will host a celebration of Diwali this Saturday, October 28th at 11 a.m. in the Main Library Meeting Room. Thank you. That is all.
Thank you. Councilman Spiller.
Thank you, Council President. Item number 2, the all-new Avenel train station is up and running as we had a ribbon-cutting ceremony last week. New Jersey Transit was in attendance as well, and they'll be adding more stops in the future. So if you get the chance, please go and visit. You can gain access from Avenel Street, or also you can walk through Station Village. Take a look and start using it. It's just incredibly beautiful. Item number 3, I'd like to thank Roberta and Rich at Oro's Park. They recently held a class of 30 AP Biology high school students, where the students conducted biology experiments inside the park and lake. It's a valuable educational experience for the students, and it also allows more people to learn about the park and Woodbridge River Watch. The rest of my agenda is ordered. Just one announcement. Avenel Street School 4 and 5 is having their annual trunk or treating this Friday, October 27th from 6:30 to 8. That is in the rear parking lot. That's always a great turnout. I believe the weather's supposed to be beautiful this weekend, so come on down and enjoy. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman Small.
Thank you, Mr. President. Item number 7, school improvements. Just an update. Oak Tree Road, School 29, it is on the renovation of the existing St. Cecilia School is continuing. Progress is being made on the installation of an elevator, fire suppression system, new boilers, air condition, ADA required modifications, the wiring update for the electrical system, data network, phone and security systems are underway. And the Colonia High School baseball field, a new ADA compliant viewing area for spectators being designed behind the baseball backstop. This will include bleachers, walkways, railings, new water service for field maintenance, and netting for existing batting cages. Just one announcement. I had the privilege of attending the Blue Mass along with Councilwoman Meehan, Councilwoman De Jesus, and the Mayor. Woodbridge Police Department was the host, and I have to tell you, it was an amazing Mass. The Woodbridge Police Department representation was incredible. I spoke to other public officials from other towns, other police departments, and they said it was never such well attended as Woodbridge attended this Mass. And I just want to thank the director, the deputy director, Joe Niski, who was in charge of this, and also our PBA president, who rounded up the troops, because if I counted right, there was probably about 50 or 60 Woodbridge police officers who gave up their day off to attend this Mass. So thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Patel.
Yeah, thank you, Council President. I have item number 1. It's American Legion. The place we are going to open up 5 branches senior center. It's in Iselin. The renovation and the remodeling of the American Legion building has begun. Selective interior demolition in the building is underway. Renovations will continue for the next 4 months until completed in early March 2018. Exterior renovations will begin in early November, starting with the removal and replacement of the roof and siding. The Our House special needs adult group have settled in temporarily in portion of the building until that new space at the Cypress Recreation Center is completed in December and ready for occupancy. Another announcement I have we have a construction right now just begin at the former Ronson site at 3 Ronson Road. The project is called the Grande at Metro Park, and that will house 355 unit luxury apartments, and the project is very close to the Metro Park train station. Also, I have one more announcement. We have an election coming up on November 7th. So I would like to request everyone to just cast their votes. The polls will open from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. Thank you, Council President. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Under number 1, just to know that I'll be adding a transfer, just came into my office this week, for the Turnpike Liquors on Port Reading Avenue in the Port Reading section. Under 2A, just to give you an update, as you're aware, we charged Ivy Stone with a number of violations. Simultaneously, so did the state of New Jersey. The state is still trying to settle those charges, and we're waiting for that as well before we move forward. Letter B, the fire and ice hearing, we're going to be charging them, as you're aware, but that date will be scheduled January 23rd right now for a hearing. Everything else I have on my agenda is in order, with just the exception of the reminder, as Mr. Patel just said, November 7th is General Election Day, and I'd like to remind registered voters to please bring their sample ballots with them to the polling places. That's all I have.
Thank you. We'll now go to administration. Mr. Landolfi.
Thank you, Council President. Relatively light agenda this evening. We have 2 change orders. One, Peak Environmental for work at the North James Street property that we acquired, and also the change order to Matrix New World Engineering for work that was done at the parking deck attached to Town Hall. And one item that's not on my agenda, but it is relative to some of the discussion that took place earlier. We hope to have either at the next meeting or the meeting after that our agreements with the local hospitals to participate in our opioid overdose recovery program. They're up for renewal. We've been discussing those renewals with them, and we hope to have that before you either next meeting or the meeting after that. That's all I have, Council President.
Thank you. We'll now go to Police Director Hubner.
Thank you, Council President. Our proposal adding the new pedestrian traffic signal on Main Street near Eleanor Place, and we're withdrawing a proposal we made for moving the yield sign at New Dover Road and Channel Hill Road, and we're going to leave it as is. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll go to the Health Department, Mr. Green.
Thank you, Council President. I don't have anything tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Recreation, Mr. Smaluka.
Thank you, Council President. I have a few items. A donation to the Woodbridge Arts Alliance, the annual donation to the WTYRC, and an additional donation to the WTYRC. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Planning and Development, Ms. Leslie.
Thank you, Council President. In addition to our standard biweekly refunds, we'll also have the annual donation for the Hopper Grant. Thank you.
Thank you, Council President. We have our normal bond releases. I have one resolution authorizing the application and execution of local freight impact fund grant for Blair Road improvements. Thank you.
Thank you. All in favor?